Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another Dear Madam Adam Live. I hope you've had a good week. I hope you're ready for another one. I know it's been a weird week in America. We're all a little what the fuck. But, you know, we're here. So we've got some emails to answer. The text line is open. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, we have some emails just to get through, and the first one I want to talk about, I don't have the email pulled up, but it's something that I've been asked a few times, more than just a few times, I think, quite often, since I've been kind of public facing. Not really a tarot question, doesn't really have anything to do with it really at all, but and it is also kind of serendipitous to some of the stuff going on in our world right now. But a lot of people ask me about my tattoos. I got an email earlier this week for tonight's episode, and they were just like, "Hey, tattoo tour? Like, you seem to have a lot of them," and they were just curious about, any symbolism or any ones in particular that were really important to me. And so while I will not be doing a tattoo tour per se, I did want to talk about my tattoos a little bit and tell you guys some of the ones I have, or some of the history behind some of them, or why I got them. But so yeah, I've got that a few times. People are like, you should do a tattoo tour, and like I'm too body conscious for all of that. But yeah, I would like to share some of that with you all since you're asking. So my first tattoo I got when I was 18. It's on my back shoulder blade back here, and it's literally just a list of the 7 deadly sins. Yeah, from top to bottom. Pride, greed, gluttony, sloth, anger, envy, and lust, all in that order. It was my first tattoo. I also think it's interesting that, well, I did this on purpose, but like the way that you do it, the way that I put them in that order, gluttony is the longest word, which is kind of ironic, but the way the words are framed, it's all centered. So the way the words are framed, it does look like a cross a bit. But I was raised Catholic, as a lot of you know, and I've always been connected to the other side of things. I've always been connected to, the darker side of stuff. But yeah, I got the tattoo artist was like, "Do you want check marks next to them or something?" And I was like, "No, I just wanted that as a reminder for the humility and the fact that we're all human, and these are sins that we will all, deal with and battle in our lives." So I got it as an 18-year-old as like a sign of original sin, that we're all flawed with these things. And they're the seven sins that, consume us the most, and the ones that we should be aware of the most, I guess. So that was my first tattoo. My other one on my back is a big tribal tiger, that I kind of just got for funsies, to be honest with you. I just wanted something new, and I wanted something big. So it's fairly large. It's a decent size, but it's just a classic tribal tiger going up my back. It's not anything too spectacular. So that one is kind of like a whatever. I got that one in New York while I was living with my grandmother. I was helping her mom through her final transition, and I just wanted a tattoo, and I got it at a shop where not a lot of people spoke English. And so it was a lot of trust in that one to get it done. So yeah, those are the 2 that are on my back. I don't have any others on my back, just the 7 deadly sins and a tiger kind of on my middle left side of my back. let's see. On my legs, well, let's do this one first. I have the symbol for the Jedi Order as a giant Star Wars nerd. On this side, I have my tribal dragon here as well because I am Year of the Dragon. So that's what that one is. And then I used to have on the back of my right leg, I used to have a skull and crossbones with like dilapidated bat wings behind it. And obviously that got covered up by my giant horror movie leg sleeve that I did last year. Scary movies have just always been a huge part of my life and something that I've always been drawn to even before I was 13. And I've told everybody the story about I'll rehash it quickly. But I was 13, I think 10, 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there. I went with my mom and my aunt and my cousin's girls soccer team to the Headless Horseman's hayride. It's a haunt in New York. And I was bawling. I was bawling. I was the only one that was upset. I was the only one that took it all too seriously. And I was just scared out of my mind and just couldn't handle it. So since then, I had decided to immerse myself in horror and found a real love for it. But even before that, I was always into the macabre. I was always into the spooky. I was always into the bad guys and not the good guys. So, but yeah, so my horror sleeve is, I mean, you've probably seen it on my socials, but it's Chucky and Tiffany, Ghostface, and then Freddy Krueger's on the back with like the Bates Motel, the Bates Manor, not the hotel, the house, the silhouette of the house, and then Norman in a black silhouette as well. Psycho is one of my favorite movies ever made, period. Blade Runner is my favorite movie, but Psycho was one of my favorites. Freddy Krueger was the first thing that like really scared the crap out of me. And Ghostface, Scream, and Child's Play are two of my favorite horror franchises, period. So yeah. So there's that. What else? Those are the legs. Yeah, that's it on the legs. I had to think about it. I do also have a little lip print. Not a little one. It's kind of, I can show that one to you guys. I've got a little lip print right there. Just a little guy, a little ditty that I got in my early 20s, late, maybe 19, 20 years old. I got that one. Just for funsies, little sexy tattoo I wanted. Let's see what else. Another Star Wars tattoo, giant nerd. That's the Rebel logo. Fortune favors the bold or the brave, fortis fortuna adjuvat, from Virgil's Aeneid, an epic poem that I read in college. And it means fortune favors the bold or fortune favors the brave. So bravery and boldness kind of go together with fortune coming your way. You have to be bold and go get what you want. So that really spoke to me. Grew up Catholic. This little spear through my arm thing, that was a Friday the 13th tattoo that I got for $13 at a tattoo shop. I wanted to get this one behind my ear, but they wouldn't do it. They said arms and legs only. And I was like, well, my husband just got a chest piece in the back. And he was like the guy that was up front. So he couldn't make exceptions for me because then everybody watching would want exceptions as well. And blah, blah, blah. So I settled and I just got it here and said, fuck it. It's another tattoo. Who cares? And then this is obviously that's Hebrew and it's my name. So yeah. Hebrew was the first form that my name was ever physically written in. And I got this because for the longest time in my life, I hated my first name, Adam. I fucking hated it. I hated it for the longest time. 4 letters, not interesting, not unique of any kind. I didn't even know any other Adams or anything like that, but I just hated the way my name sounded, the way it, I don't know. I just couldn't stand it. I hated my name for the longest time. And when I was in my 20s, I started to really love my name. I started to really dive into it and really love it. And this kind of, as I grew more connected to my spirituality, as I grew more connected to the human experience, I think, I started to connect my name to man, to human, to the human race, to human existence. And um, I would like to think that there are parts of me, not all of me, obviously, but there are parts of me that kind of mirror the collective human experience, my kind of non-binary energy and the things I've been through being queer and all of that. Um, so yeah, Adam. I didn't really like it. I didn't like the name. I figured my mom got bored and just first name of the Bible or something. I don't know. My brother has a biblical name as well. My brother's name is Joshua. So we have two biblical names. But yeah, that's my name in Hebrew, the first form it was ever written in. I thought it was lovely. I had friends in New York, and one of my Jewish friends in New York, I was like, "What does that say?" And he was like, "Adam, your name." And I was like, "Just making sure." I just want to make sure. Yes, names are the first spell. They have power, right? So I got the tattoo to kind of connect myself to my name and to give my name power and to kind of cast it as myself, being Adam being the first, you know. Um so yeah. What else do I have? Now we can talk about the ones I have with Dustin. So when I met Dustin, we both fell in love. Well, Dustin was a huge fan of Lana Del Rey. When I met him, I was not aware or familiar. When I met Dustin, I exposed him to movies. I showed him sci-fi, Star Wars, horror movies. I showed him movies, and Dustin showed me music. So I was not aware of Lana Del Rey or anything before I met him, and she became kind of our thing. She kind of became our a symbol of our relationship. Her music was kind of the soundtrack to the first 4 or 5 years of our relationship. Like listening to certain albums puts me back in those places together, like listening to Honeymoon, the whole album is me and Dustin when we lived in our apartment in Clearwater, Florida. Um, we worked odd hours. We both worked restaurant jobs. He worked at a dance studio as well. So we worked odd hours, and we had two dogs. We had Ramen and we had Benjamin at the time, rest in peace. And late at night, we would pack up the dogs and all of our weed, and we would drive down to Clearwater Beach with the windows down, with the cool sea air kind of making the hot Florida humid, kind of breaking up the humidity. And we would go and we would roll a blunt and we would sit in the dark on the beach, and we would listen to Lana Del Rey. We would listen to Honeymoon and just sit with our dogs and look out at the water and sit at the stars and all that. Mind you, we were probably breaking the law because, well, one, we were smoking weed and it's not legal in Florida, but two, because we were on someone's property. You know what I'm saying? We would park far away on the street, and then we would take the dogs for a walk, and then we would walk the beach and then find a spot and sit there for an hour or so, and then we would leave. So our first matching tattoo we ever got is Young and Beautiful, and then in an infinity sign, because our song is Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey. And the lyric is, will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? I know you will. And I asked Dustin jokingly, we were, driving to Clearwater Beach one day late at night, and we're holding hands, listening to music and smoking and stuff. And I go, will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? And he went, babe, always. So like, that's what this is, we will always be young and beautiful. We will always be young. We will always be beautiful, especially as long as our relationship is what it is, we are invincible. I've always said this forever, that in regard to my relationship with my husband, that if laughter and love are the keys to immortality, then we will live forever, So, so yeah, that's the first one, Young and Beautiful in an Infinity, because that's our song. And Yeah, so that's that one. Then we have our wedding band that we got tattooed on us as well. They're cherry blossom trees, cherry blossom branches. Mine is a winter. Dustin's is a summer because he's a Leo. I'm a Pisces. So Dustin's is the same thing. It's like a branch, but it has like a floral, like a bloomed flower on it. And mine is just petals that are falling. His is starting to look like, because these are old. These are like 6 years old or so. My back tattoo I got when I was 18. So some of those letters are starting to spread, you know? But yeah, that's our wedding bands that we got tattooed on us because the day before we got married, we realized we didn't have rings. We realized we didn't have rings. So we went to the mall in our town. We went to the mall and we went to the jeweler and they were like, yeah, we can get you white gold bands in your size. It'll take like 2 weeks. And I'm like, we need something tomorrow, you know? So we were thinking about just getting like gumball rings just to like have something in the meantime. But then in the mall, there was an Atomic Tattoos and we knew the tattoo artist and we knew one of the managers and we went in there and we like talked to them about it and everything. And we were gonna, let's get them tattooed instead. We'll just do that. And turns out that the artist ended up gifting us our wedding band rings as a gift for our wedding. And it doesn't go all the way around. That's the trick, is that if you get a ring, it can't go all the way around because of the way your finger bends. It'll see like that part will get fucked up really, really fast, you know? So it's just on the top as like, hey, that's my wedding band. That's my wedding ring. And if God forbid something happens and whatever in our relationship, it's just a cherry blossom tree, you know? So we did that instead. Dustin's engagement ring also broke while we were engaged. He was working at a restaurant. It was made of tungsten and it slipped off his finger, hit the concrete and shattered. So I was like, maybe no more like physical rings. Dustin still wants one. He still wants a kind of a wedding ring of some kind like that, but I want to get him something really nice and expensive and fancy. And you guys know, I wear a lot of rings, but I only wear them on the fingers that don't have tattoos. So I do that on purpose. Like, I don't really plan to get any more knuckle tats on this hand. I don't plan to do that because I don't want to take away from my wedding band, but I've already got the symbols, the alchemical symbols for the elements here. So I only put rings on these 5 fingers, on this thumb and these 3 fingers over here. 4. These 4 fingers and this thumb. That's the only place I put rings because I don't have tattoos on them. So yeah, wedding band. And then when we were at Spooky Empire one year, I was really not busy at the booth at all. And I figured I would get a cute little tattoo and I went walking around and found this tattoo apprentice that was doing these cute little flash sheets. And who doesn't love a cute little sheet ghost? You know, who doesn't love that? The original idea was that I would do my left hand and Dustin would do his right hand so that when we held hands, our ghosties would be like together, you know? So there was some kind of miscommunication, I guess. I don't know. And I got mine first, went back to the booth, and he went to get his, and he got it on the same hand I did. And I was like, okay. So yeah. So he got the same one I did. So we have this one, our wedding bands and our Lana Del Rey on the same arm and everything. So we have decided that our left arms are going to be matching things if we continue to do them. So yeah, wedding band, ghost tattoo, someone at Disney. We were waiting for the Christmas parade last year. And someone said, oh my God, I love your Groot tattoo. And I went, Groot? And she was like, yeah, that's Groot, right? And we were like, no. And she went like this. And I was like, Groot? And I was like, oh shit, that does look like Groot, doesn't it? You guys see that? Like eyes, eyebrows, it kind of looks like Groot. A little bit. So like now I can unsee baby Groot like right there. But like lucky for me, like I like Groot. I think he's fun. I think he's cute. So sheet ghost, Groot, whatever. So I was like, fuck. I still get this one. People think this is the arc reactor from Iron Man. And I'm like, sure. So yeah, that's this arm. I also have a couple up here. I have my mom's name, Dina Maria. And then I have this ugly, fucked up blue diamond thing that I never show anybody. I cover this up a lot because I have a lot of adult acne and a lot of body acne and a lot of acne scars all over my body. So I don't like to share them with people. So yeah, I've got a blue diamond. I got it when I was an addict at a house party. Not a great idea. And then I have the Pisces symbol up here as well. That's really big and fucked up and kind of ugly because of acne and drug use and blah, blah, blah. So I have some things I want to cover up here. That's why I don't go sleeveless ever. That's why I don't show my skin that much other than this area, because it's a place I'm comfortable and I don't have a lot of scarring or anything, but my arms are kind of full of acne scars and I was a meth addict. So I used to pick up my skin a lot. So it's got a lot of problems up here. So I don't really like these ones very much at all. They're not good. They're fucked up. They're not pretty. It's not great. So those will be ones that I will be covering up for sure. What else? I have, oh, this one, Adonis. That's my name in Greek, which is fun, or a form of my name. And I also had I think Adonis and Adam goes very well together. I had a coworker that worked with me at Kohl's where she kept calling me Adonis as like, you know, a play on my name. And I really liked it. So I just kind of went with it and got it. I do want to get the Blade Runner, what's it called? The folded paper unicorn. I want to get that on this side. So anyway, what else? I have on the back of my neck back here. Is it on this side? I think. Is it that side? There's a little music notes and a diamond back there. Is it that side? I think it's that side. I think it's over there. But it's music notes and a diamond, which is meant to be my homage to glam rock. And when I was a big fan of semi-precious weapons. So I got a tattoo for it and everything. And it's actually supposed to glow in black light, but it's really old now. It's over 11 years old. And what else? I have my Baphomet, which is a recent hand religious thing. For me and my relation to spirit, and the Capricorn in my chart. And then I have the elements here as well for obvious reasons. And what else? Is that it? I think that's it. Oh no, this one, my lotus mandala up here as well, which also I got this as a representation of change, very Tina Turner, very, you know, no mud, no lotus, that kind of vibe, as a resurgence of me kind of coming into my own. Love this tattoo a lot. And then I also noticed, I was watching Sailor Moon Crystal, and when the legendary silver crystal unfolds, it looks just like this. And I'm like, epic. Fuck yes. And then I guess the last one is this one, my neck tattoo, which is from Vivi Fluoride Eye Song, which is an anime that I'm obsessed with and love dearly. It speaks to me on many levels. I find it beautiful, as well as, you know, an action adventure kind of fun anime. So yeah, and it's also the symbol for the unholy trinity, which is something that I think is very fun as well. So, but yeah, I think that's all of them. It took about 23 minutes to talk about all of them, but I think that's it. Oh no, there's two more. Oh my God, there's two more. I'm not done. So my favorite Disney movie and my favorite fairy tale is Snow White. So on my ribs, see, not done. On my ribs, and one of the reasons we're talking about this today, on my ribs, I have a little Snow White silhouette that I can show you all. So there's that. She's beautiful. We love her. She's fun. She's a little faded, but you know, I love that one. Snow White's my favorite. It's a story of vanity and murder. So who doesn't love that? And then on this side, the first tattoo I ever passed out while I was getting, I just want to preface this because I'm very timid to get tickets to go see Wicked because I don't want to sing along. The musical Wicked, the book Wicked, Gregory Maguire, the musical, means a lot to me. A lot. Wicked, reading the book gave me the strength to come out of the closet, honestly. the metaphor of Elphaba, racially, sexually, whatever you want it to be, the idea of being green and whatever facet of it that is being different for you, it means a lot to me. So I know the movie's going to be incredible. I know I'm going to love it anyway, but I'm just nervous about other people being huge Wicked fans because of the musical, which is fine, totally fine. But like, I don't know. I have this devotion to it that is deep and real. So I've been a Wicked fan well before I've been a Wicked fan in times where people were like, of course, Wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Wicked again. You know what I'm saying? Where they were like oversaturated with Wicked. And now here we are again being kind of oversaturated with their marketing with it. But I'm thrilled for the movie, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous and excited because I don't want theater goers to ruin it. I don't need popcorn buckets and beauty makeup. I don't need, nor do I want, which is what I think is hilarious about it. I don't feel a desire to get anything Wicked. Not a t-shirt, not a popcorn bucket, not a plushie, not a Mattel doll, not nothing. I don't feel that I need anything. Nothing. Even though it's probably my favorite musical ever, it's not something that I need. And I think it's because I have this tattoo. But yeah, I am Wicked has been a big part of my coming out, a big part of me finding friendship in theater as well. So it's a big part of me. But so I have the logo as a tattoo. And that's been there since, that's about maybe 12, 13 years old, 14 years old, this tattoo. So it's literally just the logo chilling, you know? So I'm a big Wicked fan, and I always have been. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm a big Scary Movie fan. They're all tattooed on me. I'm a Disney fan as well. Do you know what I mean? But I'm so thrilled and excited for how much popularity Wicked is getting right now. But I'm feeling very selfish. I'm feeling very, that's mine. You know, don't fuck with my thing. I'm feeling very covetous about it. You know, like, yeah, you can be excited about Wicked. You're an influencer and shit, but like, I have the tattoo. You know what I mean? Like, I have a tattoo of the logo. So like, it's, yeah. Yeah. So those are all my tats, from spiritual to very nerdy to shitty ones I got in house parties while I was fucked up on drugs. So you live a life, you know? But I love my tattoos. Well, except for the ones that are fucked up. But I love my tattoos. I really do. And yeah, I know that. I mean, I can't think of a scenario where I would ever be topless, but I'm sure nowadays people are going to be like, oh my God, your Wicked tattoo. But like, that's like 14 years old. So yeah. So thank you to whoever wrote me that email about Tattoo Tour. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're watching. And any of you that have asked, there you go. So yeah, little tattoo info for you guys. And someone also mentioned that my nails are giving Wicked as well. And I didn't think about that until afterwards. But yeah, the nails are giving Wicked as well. I have an appointment on Tuesday, though, to get a new set. So, but yeah, a little tattoo info for you guys, a little about me energy. But yeah, I'm nervous to get opening weekend tickets. They're still available. There's still some on sale, but I just don't want a sing-along. I don't want the modern theater etiquette to be what I think it's going to be. You know, I don't want that. It's like going to see a Star Wars movie opening weekend. It's the right crowd. If you go opening night, it's the right crowd. Everybody shuts the fuck up. Everybody cheers when they're supposed to. They laugh when they're supposed to. No one is an individual. We are a group. We are a crowd. And there is a collective response that happens in the theater, but no one is like trying to, you know what I mean? No one feels the need to be the one person to get attention during a movie. You know what I'm saying? We're here for this. So I'm just worried that like some diehard Ariana fan is gonna like scream at the TV or something, or scream at the screen, and I just don't want that. So I don't know. But I also know that like the longer you wait to see a thing, the worse the audience can get. Like I've gone opening night to scary movies, and it's the same kind of thing. It's like, you know, the collective reactions are good, but that one person that's like, "Don't go in there," we're like, "Shh, shut the fuck up. You know why you're here. You know what this is. It's a scary movie. You're here to get scared. No one wants to hear you yell at the TV." I posted that on Threads that like I'm nervous to get tickets for opening weekend. And two different comments. One of them said that, you know, if that's the energy in the theater, I'm going to go with it and just experience the joy. No, I'm sorry, but no. Someone else said, I want to go once to watch it and enjoy it, and once to belt my heart out. Do that at home. Belt your heart out at home, not in the theater, unless it's specifically Wicked, the sing along, which they probably will do. Do you really fucking think they're not going to re-release the movie next year in the middle of the summer or something with a sing along version to prep for part 2? Do you really think so? Like, you know, they're going to. I'm calling it now. It's going to come out on streaming and Blu-ray or whatever they do now. It's going to come out for home release. And with that, they're going to put it back in theaters with the sing-along option. With a sing-along. And then you can sing your heart out. But I don't want to hear you. And I don't want to disrupt a theater having a conversation with you to shut the fuck up. You know? What about watching it? When we went to go see Death Becomes Her in New York, there was this annoying front row energy. Death Becomes Her, it's a gay show, we get it. So there's like self-important, overly well-dressed gays that are up in the front row, and when things are happening, they're like talking to the actors. Yes, girl. Ooh, queen, you better tell her. Oh, no, she didn't. Like, you're not at home, girl. There is a theater of people behind you. Like, this is not for you personally, you know? I know how to laugh and have fun and have a good time, but like, no. Time and place. 6 is different because 6 is like a concert thing and they want you to cheer and respond to them and everything. But like, no. So. Reminds me of seeing Cats in 2019 in theater. It was a giant collective fever dream, everyone belting out together. I would have left. Imagine doing that at Les Mis, the movie. Imagine Anne Hathaway is dying and some girl 2 seats next to you. No. No. Anyway, so I wanted to segue into Wicked because I'm really excited, and we're gonna go see it. I know we're gonna go see it for sure, but I just don't want to be at the mercy of other people's lack of theater etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are on their phones, like they're at home. Full brightness, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it. I thought that we all understood that you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not at home. So therefore, you should fucking, shut the fuck up and get off your phone. Like, maybe I'm on my phone during the previews. Sure, whatever. But like, when the movie starts, get off your phone. Put it away. Everyone can see it. Like, it's not even cute. So I thought we all understood theater etiquette. I thought we all understood that we are paying money to see something that is not readily accessible to us at home on streaming. So therefore, since we're paying money for this, that you should hush, you know? So you should remember public decency and that you're not alone. So, but I also know that there are some people that like, they like that. What were we watching? We were watching, I think it was Long Legs in theater, I think. I don't remember. We were saying something. And there was 2 girls, 2 guys. The girls were sitting in front of the guys. It was on the side where it was just 2-seaters on the side. And there were 2 girls, 2 guys. The guys were like fucking with the girls the whole time and like throwing shit at them and like pouring popcorn on them. And they're like laughing and like being all fucking stupid. I literally was like, well, teenagers. And sure enough, by the time the credits rolled, they skedaddled out of the theater so that no one would see them or whatever. As soon as the lights went up, they had already left and their area was trashed, covered in popcorn and trash, soda on the floor and everything. I'm like, people, like someone needs to come and get their children. I leave the theater and I see these people, they're waiting for the rest of their party in the bathroom. These were grown adults. These were like 30 somethings, like potato shaped, middle aged white people. And I was like, you all behaved like children. Like, what is this? Like, what the fuck? Rolled my eyes and just walked fucking by. Like, the theater etiquette is garbage. Theater etiquette is garbage. So yeah, so I'm nervous. I'm nervous. You know? How do you feel about Rocky? What are we saying here? Can I ask a question, please? Hi, I sent an email. That's fine. I'm not doing that right now, though. I'm talking about this. So when I'm done, maybe we'll get to emails and stuff in a little bit. But I'm answering another email in a long form right now. So yeah, I'm not gonna interrupt my train of thought to like, oh, let me answer your email. You know what I'm saying? It's a free thing. So just because you emailed me, that doesn't mean I'm gonna answer it, if that makes sense. It's free, it's a courtesy. So, and I'm also talking about something else, and you saying, hey, can I ask a question? I wrote an email is kind of rude, honestly, if I'm being honest. But I will get there, hopefully. Trey, how do you feel about Rowdy Rocky Horror screenings? That's different. It's part of the thing. I've been to many of those. I've been to many a Rocky Horror. That's different, babe. That's implied. That's a given, you know? I went to a Rocky Horror and my friend was the virgin, you know? They had to go through, it was a dual casted thing, you know? So the cast all like stood together and like my friend had to go underneath everybody's legs and they all like spanked him along the way and then like made him eat a Twinkie whole. So that was fun. But yeah, no, that's different. You know, when we know it's going to be sing along energy, when it's assumed, then yeah, that's a great time. That's fun for sure. But when it's like a new movie that we all want, you know, no, I'm not paying to hear you. I'm paying to, you know, I'm paying to watch a movie. Rent out a theater for a Maven's movie night, please. I did that. I basically did that for the Tarot movie, where I basically bought every seat in the theater. Only a few people showed up. I was sick actually when that happened, so I couldn't go to it. But yeah, I am not afraid to buy out a theater. So it's something where you just have to buy all the tickets. That's all you can do. And you can like buy them 20 at a time, I think. So I paid a lot of money for that. And then I got sick and couldn't go and blah, blah, blah. It was a shit show. But yeah, I'm not afraid of that for sure. So I hope you guys are going to go see Wicked. I am too, but I'm just a little nervous about, you know, people and the way that they are about things. Alrighty, let's see. All right, I have an email from Catherine Schaff, from a couple weeks ago, I think. You must have already started this job. Maybe do that for Wicked a few weeks after it's released. Bear in mind, like, I'm not afraid to buy out a theater, but it's not cheap, babe. Okay? It's not fucking cheap. So anyway, Catherine, my love, just wanted to say hi. I'm starting this next leg of orientation at work. This was on the 3rd, so you probably already have done it. Nervous about it. Tips on starting this new journey. Absolutely, Catherine. Well, I hope it was a good week. And that orientation went well and everything. You know, I'm sorry. That's happened before to me on lives too, where I'll be just like talking to the collective and answering people in the chat, and someone will come in and be like, flip a card. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. It's been 40 minutes. If I spend this whole hour not pulling a damn card, I can do that. You know that, right? We know that, right? I can do whatever I want. So anyway, Catherine, my love, I hope it's been a fabulous week. I hope orientation went well. Going into this next week, though, everybody's passionate about something. Lots of excited energy. Everybody has their own idea of abundance and success. Everybody wants their own thing. Everybody has their own opinions. So you just need to work hard. You know, you just need to do what you do. Be consistent in the work you've got to do. What's up, Bubby? What's wrong? Huh? You want something? You came in here and started licking my leg. You okay? Or so. Ace of Cups energy. Catherine, as you continue to work hard and show these people why they hired you, Ace of Cups energy. You got to have a ritual of like washing it off you. Consistent forgiveness for the self as well. But it's going to be an emotional journey. So you got to make sure that you have a kind of release for yourself after the stress of the day. There's just a lot of noise around you, and you need to keep your head down and be consistent in the work that you do. Okay. So Catherine, I hope that resonates. I know it's been like a week since you wrote that, but you know, never a guarantee that I'll get to see it. Someone named Les, LECC, wants to see where their life is going. They've had a couple of bad years and they want to know, will things get better? Well, that's up to you, right? If things get better, it's entirely up to you. You have to make them better. Will things get better? Like that, I just, you know, will they or won't they? Will they get better? It's like, if I say, yeah, things will get better, it's like, you'll get handed some things or someone will take the load off of you. No, you have to make things better, right? So let's see. Yep, Nine of Wands energy. Boundaries, babe. The reason things are so shitty is because you lack boundaries. Or the courage to keep them. The courage to navigate conflict as you keep your boundaries. So, yeah. Nine of Wands energy, babe. Boundaries. Protect yourself. Things get better when you know better what you prioritize and you're not susceptible to other people telling you whether that's right or wrong. You know what I mean? All right, let me go to my phone, see if there's any texts from you guys. All right, let's see. Cool tattoos. Thank you. Yesterday, I saw The Wild Robot with my sister. She's doing better, by the way. I hung out all weekend with her, which was very comforting. I'm strangely finding quiet solace in the passenger seat of my sister's car. I love that. She let me expel a large scream while she drove on the highway and expressing how I felt and continuing to mourn the loss of my dad, but also the anguish that I felt about the election results. I live here and the craziness and racism post results made me cry. Yeah, it's been rough. My sister is doing much better, by the way. Love hearing that. Very, very good. Um, for the first time in nearly 10 months, I got a clean bill of dental health. Epic. My dentist put a gold star in my file for it. We love that for you. We saw The Wild Robot and loved it. If you haven't seen it yet, you must. You would be besties with the fox played by Pedro Pascal. I love that. That is one I did want to see, by the way. That one did look really cool. I love animation. You know, I love animation for sure. Yes, I agree, Brum. Sometimes a good car scream is where it's at. Why the fuck do you think I love roller coasters so much? It's the only place that you can scream like an idiot. You can scream your face off and no one looks at you funny. It's not weird at all. It's honestly acceptable. It's assumed. It's expected, you know? So a good scream is really where it's at. Sometimes I tell Dustin that I need to get on a roller coaster to just jostle me around a little bit. I need something to like jostle my body. Like the ADHD, the anxiety, sometimes I like can't sit in my own skin. My anxiety feels like I need to get out of my skin. It feels like I'm trapped in my own body. Like if I think about it too long or too much, I can have a panic attack in front of you thinking about my brain being trapped in my skull. So I don't like small spaces. I don't like feeling trapped. And I don't like vast bigness. Like the ocean scares the shit out of me. Mission Space at Disney, I honestly don't have an issue with, but I have to like prep myself for it. I didn't realize that I had a claustrophobic thing until we were going to Mickey's not so scary Christmas party. Jesus Christ. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the Disney Christmas party out here at Magic Kingdom. And my brother, sister-in-law, kids, we were all together and my brother drove. No, they drove. We drove in their car, right? And they have one of those cars where like there's like a third row option in the back, but it's not like a real row. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a real row, but it's like a row that does have seat belts and seats in it if you need it back there. So I was sitting, I got in the back to be courteous. I got all the way in the back. And I started to like, we were almost there and I started to freak the fuck out. I started to get hot and I started to realize that I couldn't really move very well. And I had this thought in my head that I was like, oh my God, I want to jump over my nephew's car seat and go out the window right now. Like I didn't realize that I had a claustrophobic thing until that happened. And then like sometime later, yeah, there was no leg room. So I was like kind of freaking the fuck out a little bit or trying not to because I didn't want to bug anybody out and freak out the kids and stuff. So I just kind of sat through it. But when we got out of the car, I like almost cried. And I told Dustin, like, I did not like that at all. There have been times where we have been on roller coasters and like we'll be almost back up to the station and it's like stopped for a second and I'm like, get me out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like being confined. I don't like being trapped. I don't like that feeling like at all. So yeah, scream, roller coasters. Yeah. It's interesting the amount of like mental shit that has flared up in my mid late 30s. Like it's interesting to me. As of all of this, before all this Madam Adam stuff, I was never known. Like I maybe had seasonal highs and lows, but I now have a regular therapist. I now have antidepressants I'm on, antipsychotics that I'm on. I have a whole cocktail of drugs that I'm on that I never needed before all this Madam Adam stuff, you know? So I think it's something about being public facing. I think it's something about perception of other people on me that I wasn't really ready or prepared for. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of closed spaces and stuff like that. But roller coasters, yeah, sometimes it's a good feeling to like jostle my body, and when I feel like I want to get out of it, when I feel like I want to, you know, take my nail and go down the middle and come out of my skin, you know. Um, so yeah, not until my mid-30s did I need all of this help, you know? So, I'm very grateful, though, for all the help I've got, and there have been a couple of times where Dustin has suggested that I pull the plug on Madam Adam and not do it anymore. This was a couple years ago, but he was like, "Either you get help or you stop doing this, one or the other." So, yeah. Okay, so a lot of us are adult. Maybe it's the trauma coming up, you know? Maybe it's all the childhood stuff finally coming up. You bought a trampoline for when you need to feel jostled. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea, honestly. And I handle it. It sounds so silly, but I handle it by dancing around. You know, there have been plenty of times where I've been anxiety ridden and depressed, and I'm either pace I do this stupid thing where I will just pace around and just go like this and just trying to get it off me, like just shake it off me. So instead I put on my headphones, I put on music, and I dance it out. And Dustin has come home to a face, my glasses are off because I'm crying my face off, but like a face full of fucking, you know, a face full of water and redness, and I'm like dancing. And he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to get it out." You know what I mean? Like it's so much. You've been masking and pushing stuff down for so long. I feel the high stress would force it out. I agree. I agree. The trauma and the realization of the world and work and living really involves living in 2024 is not for the weak. Yes. Yes. I stress clean as well. Yeah, no, regulating my nervous system. Absolutely. That has been the biggest thing for me in my therapy journey is my therapist helping me find ways to regulate my nervous system naturally, um, and understand when it's happening, you know? Brushing your teeth helps a lot too. That's a great one. That's a great one. Yeah, no, I never want to turn into like a narcissist. I never want this social media stuff to make me egotistical. I don't want it to make me a narcissist. And I don't want to develop like spiritual psychosis, you know? I think I have a good enough head on my shoulders. I think I have a good understanding of practicality attached to spirituality. You know what I mean? I think I'm so adverse to some of the classic popular woo woo that I don't think spiritual psychosis will be a thing for me. But I've seen tarot readers on TikTok. There's one in particular, I will make nameless, but they also think that being, you know, listen here, bitch, sit down. I've got to read for you. They think that that is like something. I'm never like that. I'm abrasive or forward in the way that I speak, but I don't think that it's like that, you know, but um this person admitted that they were like bipolar and that they were, you know, and I was like, "Oh, okay. So like all of this hyperactive tarot stuff is you in spiritual psychosis, you know?" So, and if you notice for me, um a lot of my older videos, I was crackheadish. I was mile a minute. I was like, boop-a-da-bop-bop, skibidi-bop-bop. I was fucking, you know, listen here, bitch, get your life together. Take a deep breath. Like, I was all of this, you know? And although that was all genuine and it was all real, I was also like trying to prove something. And I also wasn't medicated. And I can feel now like the Lexapro is working. I can feel now. I can feel now that I've slowed down a bit. I can feel now that I'm not rushing. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm not trying to convince you that I know what I'm talking about now. Do you know what I mean? I've slowed down. I can feel it. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm prescribed Lexapro. Yes. I'm a 10 milligram girly, Lexapro. Basically what it is that my brain doesn't let me have fun, you know? My brain doesn't let me have fun now. So, or at all. So it's constant work, it's constant stress. It's like, okay, I did that. Haha, that was fun. Awesome. Okay, what's next? Like there's a constant need to do things. So it's an antidepressant for my anxiety, and basically it's an overtime kind of thing. And what it's supposed to do is like turn the faucet, the dopamine faucet on, is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to turn on my dopamine faucet, because right now it's at like a drip. It's like a slow drip. So I turn to other things to get dopamine. I used to turn to drugs. I would turn to, you know, other addictive things for me. So now I smoke weed to, you know, medicate naturally, and then I also have my meds. So I've got but Lexapro has been great for me. But if you've noticed, I've slowed down quite a bit in the way I do things and the way that I speak. It's gotten a little slower. And I look back at those videos and I'm like, Adam, what were you trying to prove, girl? Like, why are you trying so hard to prove something to people and all of that, you know? So I'm just, even in the past 4 years, I have evolved and grown and changed so much. So, but yeah, I've slowed down a bit in the way I speak and the way that I do things. And I think that it's kind of obvious for that reason. But yeah, I don't want to develop a spiritual, I don't want this to be spiritual psychosis. And I don't think it is or will be, because I'm too skeptical of it all to begin with, you know? Yeah, everything is different for everybody. So, you know, talk to your healthcare physicians about your own journey. That's the thing about antidepressants and anxiety and stuff like that. Well, any prescription drug journey, it's a trial and error of what works for you particularly. So, I also have an anti-nausea that I have in case I need it for when I have episodes. So, because there's like a hyperemesis that comes from it too. So yeah, I don't feel as, you know, anymore. So, and I know that I need them, at least right now, because like Kieran said, that they stopped after 3 months because they didn't need them anymore. I'm noticing when there's days like coming back from our New York trip, all of my meds after this live, I got to take my meds. My meds were still in suitcases and we're still unpacking and stuff like that. So I'd been off them for a little while, and then I started to notice. I started to notice that I felt gross. I started to notice that I was just unhappy for no reason. I started to notice that I was just anxious over nothing. And it was just spiraling. And I was getting back to like, you know, like can't sit still kind of shit, you know? And that's when I was like, fuck, fuck, you know? So back on them though, feeling much better. And that's for sure. So this has been a vulnerable live as fuck. We did a couple reads. We answered a couple emails and some texts. Sorry, I just kind of spent the live rambling but people asked about my tattoos. So that happened. And I guess it's just a vulnerable live to chit chat with you guys and share a bit about me, I guess. So yeah. Let's see. Do you think you can read mine in email? Are you this Vittoria Caridi? Is that you? Because if so, I'm not doing that. Was that you? What is me and Nikita's soon result of our connection? That's not a tarot question, babe. Tarot is not fortune telling. You said simple answer. The simple answer is that that's up to you to figure out. You will only know the result of your connection by going on that journey. So there's no fortune telling in tarot. There's no yes or no's. So yeah, simple answer. You have to find out. What is me and Nikita's soon result of our connection? Babe, the result is whatever you put into it. So that's the simple answer. I love how that's the question that you've been like berating me to answer all live. I'm assuming you're new to me, so welcome to it. I do tough love tarot. Tarot is a mirror. It's meant to be about you. It's not a fortune telling thing. It's not a avoid the blue-eyed man. It's not like that. You know what I mean? That's TV. That's not real. So tarot is meant to be a mirror. It's meant to be a look at you. So the best way to approach this, what is me and Nikita's soon result of our connection? First of all, that's not even a grammatically correct sentence. But maybe English isn't your first language. I don't know. But but the right way of posing that question is, how should you approach your connection to Nikita? If you want this to be successful, if you want to be the best version of you, that's the kind of question you ask. How should I show up for this? Or what do I need to know in relation to this journey? That kind of thing, you know? So we got real quiet in the chat. So I'm guessing you're not happy with my answers. But yeah, magician energy. It's whatever the fuck you manifest. Yeah. Does that say yes? Does that say no? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Let's do another one. Page of Pentacles. Does that look like yes or a no? You know what I'm saying? There's no yes or no's. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's the magician is the energy. It's whatever you manifest. Okay. It's whatever you manifest. Whatever you bring into the relationship is what you get out of it. You cannot control other people. You can't control how they respond. So all you can do is consider what you believe and then take actions on your beliefs. And then that's manifestation. That's all you can do. So the result of this is what you put into it. That's it. You have to manifest it. Shit doesn't just happen. You make it happen. So if you want to connect with this person well, or how should you approach it, it's with manifestation in mind. You want to make something out of this. Okay. So that's that vibe. We went a bit over time to do that. So again, you spent the whole live being vulnerable and a good example of taking care of yourself, and people still hound you for a love reading. Right. I can be literally live, sharing myself, doing good reads, doing what I do, and people are still like, can I ask a question? Like, it's like you don't even want to listen to me. It's like you're like, yeah. Tarot reading. It's like, I'm not a fucking Zoltar machine. I'm working on it. But like, yeah, no, you're welcome. Yeah, of course. It's very fuck my drag.
You'll need to unlock your iPad first.
All right, relax. So I hope we resonated with the read. I hope it helped a bit at least. So excellent. I was responding and listening. That's fine, but like, we're not in the same room, you know? So all the communication I get from you is your text that you type. So while I'm in the middle of telling stories and you're like, oh, can you read my email? It sounds like you don't give a fuck about what I'm saying. It sounds selfish, honestly. So it's fine. We read your email. You asked a stupid question. I gave you an answer. Be careful asking people that though, because they're gonna scam you. If you asked anybody else, they would have scammed you and told you like this person is the love of your life and your twin flame or whatever, stupid shit like that. So just know that that kind of reading really isn't ethical. Okay. So the best way to pose tarot questions in the future is a how. Okay. So all right. That's the time I have for the night. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It's been a pleasure. Next week, we'll answer some more emails and do more card readings, I promise. But I had a good time tonight. I hope you guys did as well. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Join me tomorrow night, 9 p.m. on all 3 platforms for Monday Night Madness. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go take my meds. You do the same.